Hey guys, back with another Let's Review Mega Man. It's been a while since I did one of these, and we're getting right into it with Top Man and Mega Man 3. Now, obviously, there's always that constant debate between what's the better game, Mega Man 2 or 3. I generally find most people to say Mega Man 2. I'm in that minority that thinks Mega Man 3 is the better game. In fact, I think out of all the Mega Man games in the original series, it's probably, in my opinion, the best designed game. I feel it has the best music. It's got the best additions to the series. I mean, with Rush, Rush Coil, Rush Jet, Rush Marine. The slide, I think, is really cool. A really cool addition that changes the levels in very, they're more subtle ways. It doesn't change the levels too much, but in interesting ways. I think all these additions kind of add up to make this game a really wonderful game. And the interesting thing about that is actually KJ Inafune, the creator of Mega Man, has said it's his least favorite in the series. He actually does not like the game. And I think a lot of that has to do with, apparently there was a lot of, trouble during development, a lot of relationships went sour, and just apparently it was a very troubled development cycle for this game. And it's crazy to think that kind of stuff happened when this game is so goddamn good. Even though I love it so much, it's probably my second favorite in the classic series. Mega Man 5 is still my personal favorite, but I think from overall design and quality, I think Mega Man 3 is probably the best one in the series. This playthrough is a bit, I gotta say, I haven't played Mega Man 3 in honestly, I'm gonna say maybe 5 or 6 years since I last played it. It was on the last time I played it was on the GameCube Anniversary Collection, and this what you're seeing here is actually the PS2 Anniversary Collection game. You'll see memory card saves, and it glitched up for me. This is actually on an emulator. I know I said in Let's Review Mega Man 1 and 2 that I was gonna play original hardware, original NES controller. I abandoned that idea pretty quickly. It's much less of a hassle to do it this way. Unfortunately, though, I did have to use an Xbox 360 controller to play this, and it doesn't feel as natural as with an NES controller. I really screwed up on a lot of jumps in this, and I'm not terribly proud of my run-through. But nonetheless, the main point of this video, other than a few tips and tricks here and there, is to basically give you my personal thoughts on the game and childhood memories. But anyways, here we are. Already, Mega Man 3, the level design is just, to me, so much more interesting than Mega Man 2's. I love the level design of this, the greenhouse setting. Top Man is who I usually go for first, even though I don't know a really amazing order in this game. I know usually most people will start with Magnet Man, but his stage without Rush Jet is incredibly difficult for me, so I never really go for his level first. And Top Man, I find the easiest Robot Master with the Mega Buster, so I always go for him first, even though it's not the preferred way to go from the beginning. It's always how I've done things, because I find him so easy to fight. A very interesting boss, Top Man, very weird. He's kind of cheesy and corny, very, but I don't know, I kind of find him interesting. And Top Spin, probably the worst weapon in Mega Man history, absolutely terrible. And of course, the cool thing is they have to use it to kill the final boss. But you basically spin in the air with left and right on the D-pad. And you get hurt when you use it. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's so useless. But it's one of those joke weapons. Unfortunately, all the weapons in this game, there's no weapon up there of Metal Man, the Metal Blade. There's nothing that good in this game. Now, Shadow Man. The music of this level, when I was a kid, I loved the music of this level. I don't know, it just got me pumped. I don't like it as much as I used to. It's not one of my favorite songs anymore, but back when I was a kid, this song I just loved this song to death. Shadow Man himself, another really cool, interesting level, but Shadow Man himself, I think, is probably one of the hardest Robot Masters in any Mega Man game, if you're using just the normal Mega Buster. Honestly, without energies, I just cannot beat him. Of course, I had Top Man's power works on him, and sometimes he can even be difficult with Top Man's power, because Shadow Man is one of the few Robot Masters that will actually try to run into you. That's almost part of his strategy, It's like dashing into you, and it's hard to know when he's going to do it, and it does so much damage if he hits you. His Shadow Blades are very hard to dodge. He's just a really difficult Robot Master. And there's actually, like, the Robot Masters overall are quite a bit more difficult than they were in Mega Man 2. I'll give that game this. However, overall, I think Mega Man 3 might actually be one of the easier games in the series. Playing this again after, like, 5 years, I've noticed it's not as easy as I remembered it being. I always used to think this was, like, the easiest Mega Man game ever. And to an extent it is. If you're willing to use the energies when you need to, this game probably is the easiest Mega Man game. But a Mega Buster only run with no energies, or even only using a few energies, this game's not that easy, and later you'll see why. However, what makes this game pretty easy in my eyes is the fact that it's extremely generous with power-ups. The amount of energies and lives you get in this game and health pickups is insane. I think it's, like, the drop rates are, like, really large compared to other Mega Man games. This part here I used to think was really hard when I was a kid, but as long as you kind of jump forward a bit and then back off and they'll fall down, you'll shoot them. But even to this day, this part makes my hands sweat. I don't know what it is about this part, but it just does. In terms of childhood memories of Mega Man 3, Mega Man 3 I did not own. I think I've said this before, but Mega Man 5 was the only Mega Man game on the NES I actually owned. My friend had Mega Man 2 and 3, so I'd borrow Mega Man 2 and 3 from him all the time. I played 5 first, but 3 was, I think, the third game I played in the series, and I even as a kid, I liked it a lot better than Mega Man 2. A part of that was due to it being easier, I felt, than Mega Man 2 at the time, and then the music. The music in Mega Man 3 has a very, like, quirkiness to it. It has, like, this charming quirkiness to it that I didn't feel Mega Man 2 had. Like, Mega Man 2 definitely had more catchy songs, I think, overall, and they probably fit the game a bit more, but this, I don't know, the soundtrack in this game, there's something about it that I just love. I don't think there's a weak track in this game. Now, of course, we just got Rush Marine there, which is, you don't use it too much in this game. It's a neat idea. It's not fully realized, I don't think, but I don't know. I don't think they really needed it to be in the game all that much. But yeah, back to childhood memories. So I always loved this game. I borrowed it from my friend, so many times, more so than Mega Man 2. And Mega Man 2 I didn't beat until the GameCube version, actually. I never did beat Mega Man 2 as a kid. I always found that game towards the end, like, really hard. But Mega Man 3 I did beat back when I was like 5 or 6 years old. And I think I said this before too, I'm so lucky that I got to play all the NES games. Well, I didn't play Mega Man 1 and 6, those were till where I played those when the emulators came out, but when I was playing these Mega Man games, I really should have been playing like Mega Man 7 on the Super Nintendo and the X games, because Nintendo, like, the NES was dead at the time I was playing these games, but like I said before, my parents bought me an NES when the Super Nintendo was out, and actually right around when the N64 was about to come out. They bought me a Super Nintendo when the N64 was out. It was just kind of like a pattern like that. I'm really glad that happened, because I would have missed out on Mega Man 3 and all the other Mega Man games and NES games. Like, okay, this right here, oh, that was sloppy. Oy, painful. But like, there's more power-ups that are easy to, really easy to get. Rush Coil, obviously. I do like how he works in this game. Mega Man 5, it's really weird how R-Coil works in Mega Man 5. I don't like it at all, but in this game I love it. Oh, and Sparkman's music, I gotta, like, this theme is so good. I love it so much. Like super catchy, super epic. This drop here, at first, I always thought it was like pointless when I was a kid, but later in the game you'll see it's not entirely pointless. These garbage compactor type things always gave me trouble when I was a kid, until I realized, oh, you just kind of run and jump through them. I don't know, it took me forever to realize that's what you had to do. This part here is definitely the trickiest in the level. I always found this difficult as a kid, and even now, dude, like, look at that, I almost died right there, but you really got to be careful of these bolts, because they can really knock you off these ledges really easily. In fact, overall, I'd say Sparkman's level might be one of the hardest levels in the game. Like, that's one place where I don't think Mega Man 3 is as hard as Mega Man 2, and that's the level designs themselves. Other than, like, Magnet Man's level, I don't think any level in this game is particularly difficult. especially the castle levels. The castle levels are extremely easy in this game. But yeah, you just use Shadow Man's power to take down Sparkman. He's not too bad. Even with the Mega Buster, he's not too bad. But yeah, this game, another different thing with Mega Man 3 compared to Mega Man 2, of course, are the Dock robots. Once you defeat all 8 Robot Masters, you have to fight Dock robots, which are like Mega Man 2 bosses. You have to fight them all over again, which that's kind of like a love it or hate it thing with this game. People really either love that or hate it. I like it. I think it adds replay value. I think it's fun fighting the Mega Man 2 bosses with the Mega Man 3 powers. I don't know, and it's good that they never returned back to that idea. Like, they didn't recycle it, so it's like a staple of Mega Man 3. I think that kind of helps make the game unique. As well as Snake Man, who's one of my favorite Robot Masters. Is just an interesting design, and I love the stage design. The stage layout in this game is awesome. It's very bizarre, like some kind of snake fortress, and eventually you'll find yourself in the sky at the end. It's really inspired design, how it, starts off and how it finishes. And then, of course, you have the music. Snake Man's theme, another one of my favorites, just really wacky, really upbeat, really catchy. It's just, it's so good. Like, I just love the music in this game. These bullets, I could never figure out how to dodge them. I suppose you gotta use maybe some kind of other power. Again, like, I'm no expert on Mega Man 3. Even though I love this game, I'm definitely not an expert on this game. I don't know, like, an insane amount of things about it. Those snake mini-bosses are really cool. Like, this whole level is just really cool. It's really inventive. Like, I don't know, there's just nothing like this in Mega Man. 2 lives just like that, like, and then 2 power-ups right out there for health. I mean, this game's just, like, super generous with that kind of shit. But anyways, in terms of favorite Robot Masters, least favorite Robot Masters in this game, favorite Robot Masters probably going to be, it's gotta be Snake Man. I know we're playing, this level's going on right now, but I don't know, Snake Man's just such a unique boss. Well, then again, like, he's not terribly fun to fight, though. If I had, maybe Gemini Man, then. His fight is actually really cool, how he kind of splits into 2. Really inspired design on his part, and he's actually kind of challenging in a way. So yeah, I think Gemini Man might be my favorite from this game. Least favorite, definitely Needle Man. I've never liked Needle Man all that much. I think he's kind of boring to fight. He's got a very kind of boring pattern to him. I don't like his level that much either. It's actually my least favorite level as well. I don't know, and the music, it's one of my least favorite songs in this game too. Something about Needle Man has never really connected with me. Favorite song, that's where I gotta give it to Snake Man. Snake Man's theme is just so good. Also, though, the Wily Castle 1's theme is really awesome. It actually gives Wily Castle 1 and Mega Man 2 a run for its money. Least favorite song, again, Needle Man's. Favorite power... I'm kind of partial to Shadow Blade because it works so similar to Metal Man's power, just you don't get as much of it and it's a lot slower. I don't think it shoots diagonally, but it's still pretty useful in a lot of parts of the game. Least favorite, obviously, Top Spin. Favorite level design, it's gotta be this. I mean, this level, like, as we're hitting the sky here, like, in these towers, it's just a really inspired, cool design. Like, I love it. And my least favorite level is Needle Man's, because it's just kind of boring by the numbers to that level. Like, this level is not super challenging or anything. It was actually the first level I beat when I was a kid on this game. Because when I first played this game, I sucked at it. It took me forever to finally beat a level, and this was the first level I beat, if I can remember correctly. I don't know if it really is the easiest, though. This part can be a bit tricky. You really got to be careful here. It can be quite easy to fall in the pits. But I don't know, some of the other levels might be easier. I'm just trying to think. Hard Man's level's not too bad. His level might be the easiest, actually. Oh, Top Man's is pretty easy too, actually. I think that is one of the reasons why I go for it first as well. And now Snake Man here we're getting to. For whatever reason, I forgot what the pattern to this guy was. So you'll see here I did terrible. And actually something really funny happened. I almost died here. And I think I have few energies at this point, and of course I'm just so stubborn. I don't want to use those energies, but I really should have here. You'll see right here, I got insanely lucky. Like, I think I'm supposed to be moving and kind of letting him jump over me and kind of shooting left to right, but you'll see here, he decided to walk the other way instead of hit me. Very lucky there. I don't know. I think, and I noticed, I think, some kind of pattern where he'd stop, and then the next time he walked towards that way, he'd try to hit you. I don't know. I just forgot the pattern completely. A lot of the patterns in this game I forget. I don't know, I just don't know this game as well as a lot of the other Mega Man games, even though it's probably the game I think's the best in the original series. It's strange how that works out. I like how the password system looks in this game. Like, I don't know, the game just, I think visually it's not like the visuals aren't an insane upgrade over Mega Man 2, but I don't know, I think they're nicer overall. There's a lot more detail in the backgrounds, I think. Of course, now we'll go for Gemini Man, who's this level is very interesting. Another really inspired kind of level design. You start off in space, must be on some kind of different planet than Earth. And then later you're shooting like these tadpole things that of course a lot of people like to refer to as sperm. But yeah, like this level is, I always found this level actually really hard when I was a kid for whatever reason. I don't think it's actually that difficult, but as a kid, I don't know, for some strange reason I found it tough. I always used to think Gemini Man was the hardest Robo Master 2 when I was a kid, but like Shadow Man definitely takes that cake. Because I think there is actually an easy pattern to Gemini Man. I didn't remember it for this playthrough, but from what I can remember, I think there's like an easy pattern that makes him kind of a joke. Can't remember it terribly well though. But yeah, I had this commentary I'm doing. I actually had recorded one before this. This is my second time doing this. I had the gameplay recorded and everything, but I just got back my Mac and I use iMovie to record my commentary and do all my editing. And so I was using Windows Movie Maker for my last few videos, and I was using that to record narration, right? And so I was recording my narration, and this is an hour and 10-minute long video, as you can see. And once I hit the hour mark, it stopped for some strange reason and said, "Oh, you can't record more than an hour." So I was like, "Okay, whatever." So then I look at my movie and I test it out and whatever, and for some strange reason, it gets off sync. Even though I was watching the movie play out and record my commentary at the same time, and it seemed to fit perfectly, when I watched it back, it wasn't in sync. And I tried for hours trying to fix it, and nothing would work. And like iMovie kept adding transitions and all this shit to my video, and like this is like kind of a rant, but I hate Windows Movie Maker so much. Like I really think it's a lousy editing program. Like nothing seems to work right when I use that program. I really hate how like how you change like the duration of videos, and it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem very user friendly to me. Like I much prefer iMovie as far as editing goes. I really hope to never have to use Windows Movie Maker again. Of course, I didn't have a webcam either, so I couldn't do the videos. The talking head videos, which my MacBook has, the built-in camera. So, and the built-in mic as well, too. So it's like, I don't know, Movie Maker just really pisses me off, and I don't know, that the whole get on-off sync situation really kind of pissed me off. But yeah, there's a little kind of rant on Movie Maker. Actually, but as you can see here, look how colorful the environment is. The music is really interesting. I don't know, this game's just got this charm to it that a lot of the other Mega Man games just didn't really have to me. Of course, like penguin enemies, like really inspired enemy designs too. And of course, extra health there because they're super generous with that kind of shit. But yeah, I'm playing this on the PS2 Anniversary Collection, which like GameCube Anniversary Collection. I'm gonna rant about this too. The reverse controls for that really irritated me. Like, I bought that game, Anniversary Collection for the GameCube, not knowing about that. Basically, the A and B buttons are reversed and you can't change them. So I think it was, I'm trying to think, was it B to shoot or A to shoot? I don't quite remember, but it was the most cumbersome way you could possibly control the Mega Man games on that collection. And a lot of people just hated that collection because of it. I actually got used to it. I got to the point where I could actually play these games really well with that control scheme, which is to me, I don't know how I did that, thinking back on it, but I did anyways. That energy there that they gave you, I'm sure that's because I always end up getting hit there, and everyone I see that plays this seems to get hit there a lot. That part's actually kind of tricky. But yeah, the GameCube Anniversary Collection is definitely a mess. If you want to play all the Mega Man games and you're looking into that collection, definitely go for the PS2. Well, actually, the Xbox One version is the best one because they give you all the bonuses from the GameCube one and the PS2 one. You get like an episode of that Mega Man TV show. And here I died on purpose to get, to try with the power the next time. But the Mega Man TV show and then, or the anime rather, and then this like kind of documentary type thing that aired on G4, which is actually really cool. I enjoyed watching that. So definitely, if you can get the Xbox version, if not, go for the PS2 version. Which that Mega Man anime, I remember that back in the day. Not great, not great, man. But that interview though, the interview on I think the interview was on the GameCube one, which that was another shitty thing. Like, it got the best bonus feature, even though the controls were ass. Gemini laser, not a terribly interesting power, but it helps in one of the dock stages. Yeah, because I'm playing on the memory card emulator, the memory card it kept screwing up. Because it's like using a virtual memory card, I guess. Not too many guys left. Now going for my least favorite guy. I don't know. Just not a fan of Needle Man. Actually, listening back to this, the music is actually pretty good in this level. Ah, shit. Yeah, it's like Mega Man 3, just every song is good. I don't think there's a weak track. It still might be my least favorite overall, I'm not sure. I don't know. There is a cool obstacle in this level. There's like these needle-type spikes, which when I first encountered them when I was a kid, I used to always think that, oh, those are gonna kill me one hit, this is gonna be so difficult, and then they actually don't kill you one hit, which spikes not killing you in one hit in a Mega Man game is, well, surprise, to say the least. Of course, classic Met-Tool enemies. Oh, that was bad there. I don't know, this level's just a lot of running and gunning, which is fine, but I don't know, it's just a bit more boring than a lot of the other stages. There's some kind of boring, I don't know what kind of facility this is, but yeah, it's kind of boring. But yeah, these are the spikes here, and you kind of gotta slide under them and stuff. Actually, I remember there used to be this program for PC, I think it still exists, where you can basically edit ROMs and kind of make your own levels, and I was really addicted to that like years and years ago on the PC, and you could edit Mega Man 3's ROM, but the program that you could use to edit Mega Man 3's ROM, I really didn't care for. It was very difficult to use, but I remember I made like a modification of this level, and I just friggin' covered the whole thing with spikes. I'd like to see what my levels were like back then. I had created like an entire Mega Man 2 and like a remix of Mega Man 2. I guess you could consider it like a ROM hack, but I didn't like edit code or anything. But I'm sure, looking back on it, it was probably an absolutely terrible version. I'm pretty sure my level designs were just like those kind of bad level designs where it's just everything's like a one-hit kill. Here we have Needle Man, which I think I did really bad here, if I remember correctly. And the Gemini laser. The Gemini laser is kind of annoying too because once you shoot it, you can't press pause to use an energy, and you can't shoot another one until it's done bouncing around. I don't know, I really don't care for Gemini laser that much, actually, now that I think about it. It might be the second worst weapon after Top Spin, in my opinion. But yeah, after Mega Man 3, a lot of people just kind of dropped off of the series, I've noticed. But I don't know, as a kid, I just never got bored with the series. Like, after playing like 2 and 3, I was like, I want more of this. Like, I know Mega Man 4, 5, and 6 get a bad rap for being, more of the same, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Because I think the NES Mega Man formula works so well. I mean, that's why Mega Man 9 was such a success, as well as Mega Man 10. Which actually, Mega Man 10 gets some hate too, which I don't understand. I'll defend Mega Man 10. I actually think it's a better game than Mega Man 9, but I'll go into that when I maybe eventually do Let's Review Mega Man 10. But I don't know, I never got sick. I'm still not sick of this series, and I could go back to Mega Man 4 and 5 and 6 and really enjoy them. I will say they're a bit more bland. The music's not quite as good in those games as opposed to like Mega Man 2 and 3, but I don't know, I think they still play nice, and Mega Man 4 especially. I'll go into that more in detail when I talk about that game, but I think that's it's an extremely underrated game, and it brought the Charge Buster, which I think is one of probably the best addition any Mega Man games had. And of course, Mega Man 9 and 10, they didn't bring it back, and I always found that confusing because I think that was a good addition. You know, a lot of people say it makes the games maybe a bit too easy, but Mega Man 4's got a good challenge to it. I certainly think it's harder than this game. But I don't know. Don't know why the charge shot, no one seems to like it. Or why, well, I can kind of understand the fatigue after Mega Man 2 and 3, especially since Mega Man 2 is still, in my opinion at least, the best Mega Man game, but I don't know, I just wanted more and more and more, and I still want more. I want a Mega Man 11, I want a 12, I want a 13. Although really, the game I want most, of course actually I'm going to talk about that a bit too, Mighty Number 9, but I'd love to see an X9 done in the style of the Super Nintendo X games. That would be really cool, I think. But this part here is the part I was talking about, and the stage that I just, without Rush It, I just can't fucking do it. I really am terrible at it. The wind that blows you is just, it's too much of a nuisance. I always fall down that pit there at that part. I don't know. I gotta mention too, Magnet Man's theme, so good. So damn good. Just so awesome. But yeah, Mighty Number 9, I really wanted to donate to that, because I think that's awesome how KJ Inafune is kind of, you know, oh, you know, Capcom's not going to do anything with Mega Man, I'll do it for them, kind of. Even though it's not Mega Man, but it might as well be Mega Man. What can I say? That looks awesome. I'm hoping that's good. A lot of the guys on from Inti Creates, the team that did Mega Man 9 and 10, are working on that. So, you know what? I think it's going to turn out good. I don't think it's going to be a bad game. That would be disappointing if it was, but I don't know how I feel about the art style. Like, it's very, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. It's not bad. I don't know. Maybe I'm just more used to, like, you know, that 8-bit kind of Mega Man style, but I don't know. That should be a really cool game. And it's nice too that it's actually, you know, gotten quite a bit of money. I don't really need to donate to it. And that, what you saw right there was just a terrible run at Magnet Man. Again, a guy that I forgot the pattern. I remember his pattern. I remembered it being easy. So I don't know. Just really sucked here. But yeah, Mighty Number 9. Definitely looking forward to that. I'm actually probably not going to get it on consoles. I'm probably just going to get it on PC. The physical copy would be nice, but I don't know. I might try maybe donating in these last few days. There's still some days left, but that physical copy would be pretty nice, I gotta admit. I don't know, I still might just go for just the digital-only PC version. But definitely exciting. Capcom. Like, Mega Man Legends 3, I wanted that so bad. You could have at least brought out that demo, you know? Or that prototype version. 'Cause I don't know, the Mega Man Legends 1 and 2, those games are very underrated. Like, I know not a lot of people have played them, and I can kind of see why they might have canceled it. I'm not really sure about the sales potential for Mega Man Legends 3, but those two games are really damn good. Very surprising for, like, you know, that 3D transition for Mega Man. One guy left, Hard Man. Hard Man. Again, though, the music in this stage, awesome. Love the music in this stage. Really super catchy. These bees pissed me off so much when I was a kid, actually. I still remember being so angry at them. I don't know, I'd always just get caught up in them and they'd keep hitting me, but they're really not that hard to dodge and shoot. Oh, I think the music's so good in this stage. Yeah, this is I think this level is the level where you use the slide the most. And here's an interesting thing where you have to use the rush coil to get up. not too many moments in an actual like Robot Master stage where you have to use the rush coil to progress. I think that's interesting. I think it's intentionally put there to let players know that, hey, you have this thing in your arsenal. You have rush coil in your arsenal. You're gonna have to need it later. Again, like a really smart design. Like this game, the Mega Man games have always been like that, where they're smartly designed, where they'll never, when they teach you new things, they'll never make you die before you learn it. Like they're really good at teaching you new things and with like showing you new ways to get through the levels without like telling you. Like a game like this, if it was made today, there'd be tutorials out the ass, like explaining what to do and how to do it. And Mega Man, it didn't need any of that stuff. It's not bogged down by an excessive storyline, which I don't know if I want to talk about the Mega Man Zero games, but I'll just say that I'm not really a fan of those games. I don't know, as far as Mega Man goes, like the classic series I love, the X series I love, the Legends series I love, even the Battle Network games at first I really did enjoy. I thought those were pretty unique games. They got to a point where it was like the original series where they just kind of ran them into the ground and they're just the same game every time. I don't mind with an actual Mega Man game, but with an RPG type game like that, it definitely gets old. But those first couple Battle Network games I really liked. It's the Zero series, though, I just cannot get into. And there's a few reasons for that. For one, like, they're excessively talky and story-heavy, and I've never really found the Mega Man games to have an interesting storyline. I know that's a personal opinion. A lot of people will probably disagree with me on that, but I don't know. I've always played them for the gameplay, not really the story. And the story is like really kind of cute and charming in these NES games. The X games, they went with like a super serious tone, and the first few games it wasn't bad, but I eventually started to lose interest in the X storyline. But the Zero games, it's just, there's too much of it. And there's so many sections in those games where you walk around talking to people, and like it takes so long to get into the action, and when you do, it's very, like, you can shoot in it, of course, but it's focused on like melee combat, which I really was not a fan of. I didn't like the Cyber Elf system in I think it was like the first and second game. 0, 3, and 4 were a bit better than the first two, but I really didn't care for them that much. And then the visual style in those games, I really don't like. I know there's something about the visual style that just does not... you'll see here I almost died. It was just, the hard knuckle was just coming at me. Again, though, with this guy, I used to know his pattern, but now I don't. Oy. But yeah, the Zero games, I don't know, just not really for me, I guess. So I definitely won't be doing a Let's Review series of those. As far as review series, I imagine Mega Man 1 to 8, X to X6 for sure. Probably 9 and 10 as well, Mega Man 9 and 10. I doubt I'll play any side games or anything like that. For Mega Man 7 and 8, I'm thinking of doing, not playing the original versions like the Super Nintendo and the PlayStation versions, but there's these 8-bit remakes that are out on PC that are really, really cool. And I'd like to show those off because they're basically the same games. They're just got little differences here and there, but I think they're far more enjoyable than the actual versions of the games. So I think I might be playing those to show off Mega Man 7 and 8. But here we have the Doc Robot stages, which adds a considerable length to the game, where you revisit the stages and they have different layouts. Typically, of course, more challenging, and these are among the more challenging levels in the games. And the reason for that are the Doc Robots themselves, which, playing through this playthrough, I had forgotten just how tough they were. Like, they could be quite a bit of trouble, especially Airman and Woodman, because in Mega Man 3, first off, you tend to do less damage, I've found, to the Robot Masters, and they seem to do maybe a bit more damage to you than in Mega Man 2. And your powers I think are about the same, but your Mega Buster definitely feels weaker in this game. And these Mega Man 2 bosses, they take on the form of the Doc Robots, and they're pretty massive sprites, so they can be hard to dodge, and they can hit you pretty easily. And on top of that, with them doing more damage and you doing less damage to them, they're pretty damn tough. I don't know, so they're a lot harder than I'd remembered. They're definitely the hardest part of the game. Once you get through the Doc Robot Master stages, you'll be fine for the rest of the game. Wily's stage is almost pathetically easy. It's kind of shocking how easy it is for the Wily stage. I think it's almost designed that way to, as a you know, apologizing for the difficulty of the dock stages and dock robots, which are among definitely the hardest parts in the game. But of course, here's where you gotta use the Rush Coil, Rush Marine, Rush Jet. They really make you pull out those powers in this. One advantage to the Anniversary Collection that I love playing this pack is using L and R to switch your powers on the fly. Like that really makes these games a slightly, I'll only say probably slightly less tedious, because having to press start every time you want to change a power and going through the menu, it can be a bit tedious. And playing the Anniversary Collection alleviates that with the L and R. But for some strange reason, you can't switch to R-Coil, like the R-Coil, Rush Jet, or Rush Marine like that, which is kind of disappointing, because you do have to use those quite a bit in this game, or at least Rush Jet and Rush Coil. But here we have our first dock robot, Flashman, one of my favorites from Mega Man 2. And he's just like the dock robot, he's huge, man. He's massive. They're so hard to jump over too. Of course, I'm not doing a particularly good job here. Of course, playing through this, I was like, wow, I don't remember these guys being this difficult. But yeah, they'll give a good fight. I love the music in the stage. Here's a more advanced Rush Marine part, even though I find this a lot easier than the part in the actual stage, which, go figure, I don't know. Kind of odd. There's a lot of enemies on the screen in this game. Or in this part, rather. Just this music, man, I just love it so much. This level's nothing too crazy, like, alright, that energy I needed just in time, actually. I'm glad they gave me that at that point. Sometimes it is a blessing that, you know, the power-ups are so generous in this game, or the power-up drop rate is so generous. But yeah, Mega Man 3, I used to think it was probably the longest game in the original series, and it actually might not be, because later Mega Man games after this had, an extra castle in them, and that kind of took the place of these dock robot stages, so they roughly equal out to around the same length, I think. It'll be interesting going through like this series to see which one took me the longest. I don't know, what's the longest Mega Man game in the original series? I don't know if I'd want to count 7 or 8. They probably are the longest, those two, if I can remember correctly. I don't know, I want to say maybe Mega Man 4? It's 3, 4, 5, or 6. It's one of those. I don't know. Be interesting to see. Yeah, because this game's a lot longer than Mega Man 1 and 2, I'm not going to be able to talk about as much as with those two games. Here, of course, we have another Rush Quill obstacle. This part coming up here, when I was a kid, it took me forever to realize what you had to do. I was stuck here for quite a while when I was a kid, and you have to use Gemini Laser to get rid of this enemy. I don't know, for some reason, it just took me forever to figure out when I was a kid. I found these kind of interesting, these obstacles here, these springy, these kind of things that like push you left and right that you have to jump on. They only make an appearance in the castle, I believe, in this level. Like they weren't used in the first 8 Robot Master stages. I find that kind of interesting. I don't know, it still baffles my mind how Keiji Inafune does not like this game. I think he said he considers it the weakest in the original series, which is crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. Who do we have here? Metal Man. Alright. Who doesn't love Metal Man? Because he stands in one spot, he's actually probably might be the easiest dock robot. But here you see here, what was originally thought to be pointless, they've kind of added spikes in here. which I just find that really cool. It's almost like foreshadowing, which is, I think that's kind of neat. Like, this game has just got so many neat little touches. I play Mega Man in a kind of a weird way. I don't, from what I've noticed, not a lot of people do what I do, but I tend to just shoot even when there's no enemies on the screen. Like, as I'm running left to right, I tend to just shoot, like, randomly. I find what that does is you'll kill enemies you weren't expecting to pop up a lot. It's actually maybe like a kind of a good tip for newcomers. It might get you in a bad habit, though. I gotta admit, it's kind of a bad habit on my part, because I do tend to shoot when I don't really need to, but I don't know, I find it makes the game maybe a bit slightly easier, because you'll end up killing enemies that could get in your way if you weren't expecting them. Quick Man, one of the hardest Robot Masters in Mega Man 2, and pretty brutally hard in here. I think I had to use an energy at this fight, because, again, like, he's huge, too. It's like Quick Man times 2. Oh, the Doc Robot's definitely not easy. And this is with a power, man, like with Mega Buster, oi. No, I didn't have to use energy, no. Got a bit lucky, though. Like, Quick Man's one of those guys I still can't get the hang of. Like, does he even have a pattern? Like, I don't know. He's just too crazy, too fast, too many quick boomerangs thrown at you. Anniversary Collection has kind of a neat thing, though, where it saves after every guy you kill. I think it might only happen up until the castle, though, and then you have to, like, play through the castle stages in one go. From what I remember, that's how the Anniversary Collections work. So you can, you know, you don't have to beat these games in one sitting like you would on, like, the NES. Although I guess there's just passwords, I kind of forgot about that. Which, when I was a kid, I remember the password systems kind of confusing me. Like, I never could figure them out. I don't know why. Just for some strange reason couldn't. Back to Shadow Man's level. I still kind of like this music. But I don't know, as a kid, I just could not stop listening to this friggin' music. Like, I loved it so much. Always wondered what that red water was. Like, is it supposed to be lava? Like, it's always kind of interesting. Like, this facility Mega Man's in, like, what is this place? Like, is it supposed to be some kind of maybe water facility or something? I don't know. An oil refinery, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. A lot of Mega Man stages is really, yeah, you really don't know what the heck, where the heck you are. I guess an interesting thing about Mega Man 3, actually, thinking back on it, is the box art itself. The first time where Mega Man actually looked like Mega Man. He was a kid, based on a kid on the cover, as opposed to Mega Man 1 and 2, where he was like an old man. Mega Man 2, an old man in spandex. Mega Man 1, I can't even, like, Mega Man 1, that character design on the front of that box, I can't even, like, it's so crazy. It's like old man in, like, with a handgun. I don't know. I almost think Mega Man 2 has got worst box art. A lot of people always go back to Mega Man 1, but Mega Man 2's got pretty awful box art too. Like Mega Man in spandex, I think Quick Man's on there. They're all in spandex. Like, it's just like, what? I think it's a really awful box art too. Mega Man 3 definitely, finally, good box art that's actually appropriate. Yeah. Even as a kid, though, like, my friend didn't have the box for these games. I don't know, even as a kid when I was really young, when I got NES games, they never came with the boxes. I think that's partially because I always got them secondhand. I never bought an NES game brand new. I don't think I bought a game brand new until the N64, to be honest. So right off the bat, I didn't have boxed games for NES and Super Nintendo. And my friend didn't have them either. Like, he always got his games at this flea market that's actually still around, but they don't sell games anymore. But back in the early 90s, they did. And he at one point saw Mega Man 1 there. He saw Mega Man 4, Mega Man 6, but he didn't. At the times he went, he didn't have the money, and they were $5 back then, which actually nowadays that's a stellar deal. Especially for, like, Mega Man 5, but But yeah, he didn't have the money when he saw the rest of the games, like Mega Man 1, 6. Which is interesting, because he never told me about Mega Man 1 and 6, and I assumed Mega Man 1 existed, obviously, but Mega Man 6, I didn't, until the emulator days, I didn't even know it, well, actually, rather, until the Super Nintendo, until I saw Mega Man 7, I didn't know that Mega Man 6 even existed. The interesting thing is that well, no, I'll save the Mega Man 5 story for when I do the Mega Man 5 playthrough, 'cause I've got a lot of nostalgic memories with that game. Obviously, this game I do too. Every time I play, just the nostalgia is almost too much. More so than Mega Man 2, I think. More so than Mega Man 2. I think that's the last Doc Robot, if I'm not mistaken. No, okay. Needleman. This Doc Robot stage I don't like. This is probably my least favorite in the game, level design, from a level design standpoint. And it's because of a particular section towards the end. When we'll get to it, I'll explain it. The first half of the stage is not too bad. I like, too, how they changed this, now it's nighttime. That, again, a really neat little touch. This game's just filled with them. Of course, Return of the Spikes. Oh man, I do tear. Look at this. Oh yeah, I remember this part. This was laughable right here. Like, why'd I walk into that? I guess I get the health. Yeah, I might as well explain the part. Coming up, you'll have to use Rush Jet to get through a really long portion where you're just shooting things and trying to get to the end of the stage. And there's some power for your Rush Jets thrown about the area, but if you get the power, the weapon power, it disappears until you get a game over, and have to replay the stage again. So you're only given basically one or two, I think maybe 2 to 3 tries to get through the part, and if you don't do it in those tries, you gotta kill yourself. Because that's the only way you're getting the weapon power back. Which brings me back to Mega Man 2. Mega Man 2 had a similar section in the Wily Castle. And it's one of those design things that I just do not care for. I don't really think you should be encouraging your players to kill themselves to progress. I really think that's poor design. It's one of the few moments in Mega Man 3 that I think is not thought out as far as design goes. You'll see I killed myself here, just because you're going to need a lot of health for this part. It's very hard to beat this part without getting hit. I guess I could have just used an energy, but I don't know, I'm stubborn with energies. But this is the part here, you gotta use Rush Jet to get across. It's a fairly lengthy part. Made sure I had full energy. It's just, it's a bummer if you get to this part and have 10 lives and you die a couple times and then you're out of weapon energy. The tip here is obviously to not take too many, just take enough weapon energies to get through the section, so you have enough left over so you can maybe get through it again. I think you could probably only get through the section twice, and then that's it. You'll see I have to get off Rush Jet and get the energy again. I don't know, it's I can see what they wanted to do. It's kind of a neat idea, forcing you to use Rush Jet in an extended section, but it's, in my opinion, it still should have been scrapped, I think. Of course I say this, like, this game is years old. I mean, it's like, nothing you can do about it now, but, it's still a part of the game, and it's a part of the game I don't like. A very, very minor flaw with an otherwise, like, I don't know, I think this is, like, to me, if you're gonna ask me, like, what's the quintessential Mega Man game, I'll always go back to Mega Man 3. Mega Man 5 might be my personal favorite, but I think if someone asked me, I want to play a Mega Man game, what one should I play? I mean, Mega Man 2, in a way, I would direct them to, but, I don't know, this game, to me, I think they'd have a better shot at me. Well, actually, maybe because of the Doc Robots. I don't know. It's very tough between that Mega Man 2 and 3, but now, a Desert Island Mega Man game, then definitely Mega Man 3. As a first Mega Man game, perhaps Mega Man 2 is the better choice, but, I don't know, in a Desert Island Mega Man game, like, the only game I can play for the rest of my life, the quintessential Mega Man game, definitely, I think, Mega Man 3. This mini-boss took me forever to kill. I don't know what was going on here. I guess I was missing that plus icon on his head. I'm pretty sure that's what you have to hit here. I don't know, it just took me a while to kill. Very cool mini boss though. I approve. Yeah, the flea market I went to when I was a kid, I never bought, well, I did buy a few games there, but I wasn't as crazy about it as my friend. Like, back then, you know, I couldn't really afford many games, right? But yeah, I never saw a Mega Man game, not once. I really wanted Mega Man 2 and 3, but I never saw them. The rental store, Blockbuster, and there was another store called Real Hollywood Video. They had copies, and that's if my friend didn't want to let me borrow Mega Man 2 or 3, I could go there and rent them. They didn't have Mega Man 1 or 6 though. They didn't have Mega Man 4 either. They only had like Blockbuster and Real Hollywood Video had like 2, 3, and 5. Oddly enough, they had all the Super Nintendo ones, of course, but Mega Man 4. I'll talk about that in my Mega Man 4 video. Don't want to run out of things to talk about by the time I get there. I guess that's one of those problems with these kind of videos, you know, an entire playthrough. I can run out of things to talk about. I think I've been doing pretty good so far, but you know, it's otherwise, like, you know, there's great tunes to listen to while I'm not saying anything. Of course, these can be used as a walkthrough kind of thing, you know, seeing how I go through the parts, although these definitely aren't, like, super recommended paths. Brakeman! Oh yeah, how can I forget the Proto Man whistle, of course, like, I'm talking about that, like, just as a kid, it was so badass, it's still badass. Gotta love Proto Man. Although, oddly enough, I don't like playing as him in Mega Man 9 and 10. It's the same with the X games too, with the Zero. I never liked playing Zero in like X4, 5, and 6. Like, I don't know, there's just something like, give me a character other than Mega Man and I'm unhappy. For whatever reason. Like, that was one of my big issues with X8. Just playing as Axel and, I think it was Zero was the other. Zero, like, ugh. I don't know. I have a lot of problems with Mega Man X8, but anyways. Little cutscene type thing here. And finally, we're at Wily's Castle. But yeah, like I've said before, it's a shockingly easy castle. It might be the easiest castle in any Mega Man game. Honestly, it might just be. Like this first level, okay, music, badass. Love this song. It fits storming the castle so well, just like Wily Stage 1 and Mega Man 2 before it. And this level, even though it's short and easy, I still think it's better designed than Mega Man 1, Mega Man 2, Wily Castle 1. Interesting how these top guys return. The top man, what is this? This is still just a bizarre idea for an enemy. And there, of course, a free energy. Actually, there is one boss in these castles that's tricky, but compared to Mega Man 1, definitely not. I'll first talk about that when it comes. Penguins. Yeah, Hard Knuckle breaks these. Yeah, tons of lives and energies behind these types of walls in this castle. See, look at that! Like, it's insane. It's like, I don't know. I guess because they're like, oh, the Doc's robot stages were super difficult. Let's give the player a break. And of course, I'm gonna go for all of them, even though I probably don't really need them. And of course, these enemies are like your, I guess, Sniper Joes are called, but I guess these guys are called Hammer Joes? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know what their official name is. So I think the instruction booklet for Mega Man 3 tells you the names of the enemies. I could be wrong. But yeah. Yeah, I only had the cart. My friend only had the cart. Same with Mega Man 5, only had the cart. All my Super Nintendo games, NES games, only the carts. No one ever had the boxes when you were buying them. I got a lot of my games from, like, classified ads, believe it or not. And of course the N64, when I started getting the boxes, because I was first buying them brand new, when I sold my N64 and all the games, or no I didn't, no. when I got my boxed N64 games, I threw the boxes and manuals out. I still remember to this day, Ocarina of Time, day one, going to Zeller's, buying it for, I think it was, how much was it? $79.99, I think it was. Like 80 bucks plus tax, of course. In Canadian money, when the Canadian dollar was, you know, not great. Back then, come home, take the game out, and immediately throw the box and the manual in the garbage. I vividly remember that, and I want to shoot myself for doing that. And that was with every N64 game I bought. Every single one, just, oh, in the garbage you go. Really, man. But that was an easy boss you just saw there. Just use top spin to kill those turtles he shoots out. Very, very simple. Yeah, actually, you know what? In a way, I'm kind of glad I didn't get boxes with my NES and Super Nintendo games, because I would have thrown them out, and it would have hurt even more. And you know, like back when I played Earthbound, like I only rented it, but like if I had bought that game with the box and the the strategy guide, and I'd have to imagine I would have kept the strategy guide though. I don't know, there's something about that just makes me seem like I would keep it, but the box, that would have been gone. I would have chucked that so easily. So in a way, I'm kind of glad with NES and Super Nintendo games I didn't do that. I didn't get the boxes in the first place, but oh yeah. This is another simple level. Although, again, here's another section where you gotta use Rush Jet. It's not as much of a pain in the ass as the previous area, but it's still annoying. Still, not a fan. I wonder how many energies at this point I have. Like, look at that, 2 energies back to back. Like, insane. I guess 2 also, Mega Man 2, you could only have 4 maximum energies. This game, you can have like 9, which is another reason why this game I find is kind of easy. Here's the hardest part for the rest of the game. The Yellow Devil returns. He's easier this time around, obviously. He's still, though, challenging as hell. Like, it's so hard to dodge this shit. It does suck, too, out. Yeah, 9 energies. I had the max. It did say 9 energies there, I don't remember. But Hard Knuckle, it kind of sucks how that's the thing that hits him, because it's a very slow power. You can actually hit him twice. I do it towards the end of the battle here, but I don't know, I'd forgotten that you could do that. Like a lot of things with this game. But yeah, no, he's definitely not easy. This is easy to get hit by, those bouncing things. Yeah, no, I had 9 energies. Like, that's insane. 9 energies, 12 lives. Absolutely insane. But hey, and that does suck how the Rush Jet section 2 is before this. And this level, I believe you have to do the entire thing over again if you die. So yeah, this is probably the hardest part of the castle, but it's still... by this part, you're gonna have like 9 energies. Well, not quite, but you'll have enough to get through this. I mean, this is not gonna cause any crazy amounts of grief. That Yellow Devil might be the easiest incarnation of what is it? The Yellow Devil in a Mega Man game. Obviously, Mega Man 1's the hardest. I don't quite remember every game he appears in. I know Mega Man X5, I want to say he appears in again. I remember that him being pretty tough in that game. I guess while you're going through this, I can talk about a game I played. It relates to this. Mega Man Unlimited. I think that's what it was called. yeah, Mega Man Unlimited. On the PC. It was a fan-made Mega Man game. Made by one guy. It's done in the style of the 8-bit games. No charge shot in it like 9 and 10. They're very similar to 9 and 10. They have the shops as well, which actually I'll probably talk about that in the Mega Man 9 and 10 videos. Needless to say, I'll just say quickly, I don't like the shop. I don't think it's, I don't know, I just don't like the shop. I'll give my reasons for that in another video, but Mega Man Unlimited, it's actually a pretty cool game. The level design in it is really clever, like really clever and inventive level design. The problem, and the controls are perfect. It really feels like a Capcom product as far as the controls and visuals. It's like, it's got the NES style, but the detail in the backgrounds and environments is pretty amazing. The music, it's okay. The music's alright. But the levels in that game are massive. Like, they're probably 4 times the size of an average Mega Man level in, say, Mega Man 3. And there's only one checkpoint in the middle of the stage and at the final boss, or the Robot Masters. And it basically makes the levels complete slogs, because not only are they actually really difficult, it probably got some of the more challenging level design in a Mega Man game. They go on forever, and it's tedious and frustrating when you die. It's kind of unfair in a way how the checkpoints work. And like, I ended up beating the game, but it really made me not enjoy the game, especially Rainbow Man's level, which if anyone's played that, they'll probably share my pain. It's basically Quick Man stage from Mega Man 2, but a bit more different. Like, they add some interesting gimmicks. The problem with it, though, the level is completely unfair. There's so many sections in that level where you have to die if you don't know what's coming up ahead. It's basically, the whole level's based on memorization, which is not good. I definitely had some problems with Mega Man Unlimited, but overall, definitely check it out if you're curious. It's free, no cost to play that game, but I'd say only play that if you're a hardcore Mega Man fan, or if you're looking for like an extreme challenge. But I don't know. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way, the lack of checkpoints and just how huge those levels were. And of course, Rainbow Man stage was just total garbage. Still, it's pretty neat for a free game. Free fan-made game, rather. And the classic fight all the bosses again. You know, Mega Man staple. Even, you know, people always talk about this. Oh, it's a staple, it's a staple. Does anyone really have fun fighting these bosses over again? I don't know. I don't know if I've ever really enjoyed doing this in all the Mega Man games. But it's like they kind of have to include it now in all of them. It's you know, it's a staple at this point. Oh man. 14 lives. Yeah, not much to say about fighting bosses all over again. There's not much you can say about this kind of stuff. Interesting kind of mechanic though he has, where he stuns you if he hits the, you know, body slams into the ground. Wily's not too tough in this game. He's definitely quite a bit easier than he was in Mega Man 1 and 2. Shadow Man, on the other hand, oh wait. I do find it funny. It's really awesome how you have to finish off Dr. Wily in this game with the top spin. Just awesome. I don't know, I sucked at Magnet Man on this playthrough. I swear he's got an easy pattern, but I just, for the life of me, couldn't remember it. Okay, no, it does give you get more than 9 energies, it just doesn't show it. That's crazy. What the hell is the maximum? Like 99? Like, damn. like, I don't know. You know what? Even with the dock robots being as hard as they are and those stages being pretty challenging, I don't remember. I could be wrong. Oh no, it says 8 now. It must have been some graphics glitch. Okay, never mind then. I was gonna say, I could have sworn there's no way the maximum energies are higher than 9. Like, that would be just overkill. Finally done with those guys. Of course, they're gonna be even more generous. Give you a live. You know, 15 lives, 8 energies for the final boss. Like, oh man. Ridiculous. And they're gonna give you more stuff here. But yeah, you're gonna have to use Sparkmans for the first form. This first form is very, very easy. You know, they could have maybe went a bit more challenging here, and I guess it would be if you're going for with Mega Buster. With the Sparks power, though, very, very simple. This is kind of an interesting part of this boss battle. The fact that you have to use Rush Jet to kill him. I found that very interesting. I guess kind of another problem with that, though, is you're gonna need, you know, you can only use Rush Jet probably once actually to kill him. The other powers might be able to hit him there, but I don't think your normal Buster can get him without the Rush Jet. So, I don't know. He's easy enough, though. He's not a problem. Again, like, look at this shit. It's ridiculous. I don't know, man. I think it's a bit too much, man. And you'll notice though, I didn't go for all those extra things because you're gonna need Rush Jet for this. only a bit of it, but I didn't want to risk it, even though I knew I could. But you're just gonna use Shadow Blade to kill the top. Again, like, it's probably might be one of the easiest Wily fights in a Mega Man game. If you miss this though, it can be a hassle to get back up there. Just equip that top spin, jump, and just so awesome. Fantastic ending to a fantastic game. It's all... Oh. Oh man, but recording this commentary of iMovie is so much easier because it shows you your, I don't know if anyone's used iMovie, but it's just, I don't know, I find it to be a really great editing program. I mean, it's not super powerful. It doesn't have a crazy amount of advanced features, but I think it strikes a good balance between usability, advanced type stuff, and then I don't know. It's just easy. I find it easier to use than Movie Maker. And there seems to be more options, and the way you do things just it's a lot easier to figure out. I guess a lot of that's personal preference, though. I don't know. I'm still just angry over that losing the commentary. But actually, now that I think about it, this commentary, I think turned out better than the one I had before. So, I guess I'm not so mad. Gotta love the ending. And the credits. And that about does it. yeah, I guess final thoughts. Fantastic fucking game. Mega Man 3, like I said before, probably the quintessential Mega Man game for me, and definitely if you're talking like as an overall package, it's in my opinion it's the best Mega Man game in the classic series. But if you haven't played this, definitely definitely play it. And then again, I guess if you're watching this, but yeah, it's a fantastic game. And playing it again after all these years, it was definitely awesome. Mega Man 4 will be the next one. Haven't played that in a long time either, so that will be interesting. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.